And with me, Kritsween Walia. Well, viewers, another round of fireworks has emerged from the national capital, which once again signals our tensions between the Delhi government and its bureaucracy. Viewers, the latest fight is taking place over the official residence of the Delhi Chief Minister. The CM has been asked to vacate the Civil Lines bungalow 2 days after she moved in. The Aam Aadmi Party has alleged that the Lieutenant Governor, working at the behest of the BJP, has violently, quote-unquote, snatched away Chief Minister Atishi's belongings. The BJP, while citing the PWD, has claimed that the Chief Minister moved in without following due procedure. Before we sound that political fight, let's take you through a brief timeline because a lot has happened in the last 1 week alone. It was on the 6th of October that the PWD penned a letter to the Special Secretary to the CM office claiming that PWD was yet to receive the keys to the house after it was taken back from the department. So essentially, PWD claims that it was supposed to be in possession of the keys, but the keys were taken by the CM and not returned for a formal allotment. Following this, on the 7th of October, the Delhi CM moved into the bungalow vacated by Arvind Kejriwal. And on the 9th, the PWD sealed the 6 Flagstaff residence while claiming that rules were flouted and an official allotment did not take place, so the bungalow couldn't be occupied as yet. So ladies and gentlemen, the war of words is at its peak, and before we try and get to the bottom of this, to unearth the truth, here are some of the allegations leveled by both sides so far.
तो अब वो चाहते हैं कि मुख्यमंत्री तो बन नहीं पाए, किसी तरह से मुख्यमंत्री आवास पर ही कब्जा कर लें। उनका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो कह रही है वो कोई ना मानेंगे। जो हमने देखा है, आपने कभी देखा हो कि मनीष सिसोदिया जी के AB 17 पे ताला लगा हो, 2 दिन लगा हो? क्योंकि 2 दिन ताला इसलिए लगा है क्योंकि हैंडिंग ओवर टेकिंग ओवर में 2 दिन लगता है और वो लिस्ट ऑफ इन्वेंट्री बन रही है। कभी आपने सुना है? कभी आपने देखा है?
जब कानून अपना काम करता है, अरविंद केजरीवाल और आम आदमी पार्टी झूठे आरोप लगाना शुरू करती है।
केजरीवाल की इस पूरे प्रकरण की जांच होनी चाहिए कि किस प्रकार पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री ने वर्तमान मुख्यमंत्री को अवैध रूप से कब्जा करवाया।
And joining us on the broadcast, our national spokesperson of the BJP, Pradeep Bhandari, along with spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Anmol Pawar. My first question is to Mr. Anmol. Given that these are very serious allegations being levelled by the Aam Aadmi Party that the Chief Minister has been asked to vacate her official residence. Tell us your version before we go across to the BJP. BJP is saying due process procedure has not been followed, norms have been flouted. Hence, the Chief Minister has been kindly asked to vacate the house.
Ms. Walia, I disagree with your version that she has been asked to vacate the house. I think it is for the first time.
That's not my version. That's the BJP's version. We'll get to that, but yes, go ahead.
It's for the first time in a country's history that a female chief minister has been removed from the official residence by the Lieutenant Governor on the instructions of Bharatiya Janata Party. The residence has been sealed and her belongings have been thrown out. And this reflects BJP's anti-women mindset. And the fact that they are spreading falsehood claiming that keys were not handed over to the PWD. In reality, we have a letter which clearly outlines the seamless transfer of keys from the former Chief Minister, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, to the PWD and then to Ms. Atishi ji. Additionally, there's an NOC confirming that there were no outstanding dues, following which keys were officially handed over to Atishi ji. And I'll show you this letter of the GAD. If you could zoom it out, you'll see that there's a letter which states that this transfer of keys has been done through proper channel following due process of law.
Do you have a letter from the PWD, sir?
We have a letter from Delhi government, and if you want, I can read out specifically what has been written in it.
You know, the PWD minister is an AAP Neta. So I really don't understand where this is coming from. These are allegations being levelled by PWD officers that due process hasn't been followed, that on the 6th, and I can also flash another letter for you, Mr. Anmol, very clearly says, and I quote, "It is brought to your attention that the keys of the house at 6 Flagstaff Road handed over to PWD were taken back after some time, are yet to be handed over to PWD to complete the process of handing over even after the brief visit at the house today afternoon, which is the 6th of this month. How do you explain this?
You raised a very pertinent point which I think the people of Delhi must know. The PWD department, which is under Chief Minister Atishi ji, despite that, PWD officials have locked and sealed Chief Minister's residence because these officials are being controlled like puppets by the Lieutenant Governor, by a person who cannot win even a councillor's election in Delhi. He is disrespecting the mandate of an elected government, of a chief minister.
Unfortunately, Mr. Anmol, that's going to go beyond the scope of this debate. What I can stick to is the version that's coming from the PWD, the version that's coming from the BJP, and the version that's coming from the Aam Aadmi Party. Actually
this
is only to do with what the PWD and the Aam Aadmi Party are saying. PWD itself in this letter, and I just spoke of an excerpt from the letter saying we were given the keys were taken back in no time, and there is a process that needs to be followed, and everybody knows this. This is not just for the Chief Minister's bungalow. You know, my father was an armed forces officer. Any house that you'd move to, you will have to officially hand it over. A proper check is carried out by the officials concerned. Whatever furniture is part of that house, all of that is duly noted, is then when the house is finally allotted to the next party. So it goes across government bungalows.
Ms. Walia, after resignation of two senior leaders, Mr. Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain, their official residences were re-allotted to the present cabinet minister. And during the transition, no issues were raised by the PWD and no inventory checks were conducted. How would BJP respond to that? But now the Lieutenant Governor is playing petty politics over this. And I will also
agree inventory checks were not carried out at this bungalow?
It has been carried out. Let me read out this letter which says that, and it is dated 8/10/2024. It says that the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal vacated the residence on 4th around 11 a.m. The keys were handed over to the section officer available at the camp office, and thereafter it has been handed over to the present Chief Minister, Ms. Atishi ji.
Okay, so GAD letter is what you're referring to, and you're talking about how it confirms no dues pending from Arvind Kejriwal. Pradeep, would you want to quickly respond? I've put a series of questions to him and he's given out answers. What would you say?
Well, allow me to first respond to the political statement made by him, and then I will come to the fact. He was speaking about, Bharatiya Janata Party being anti-women. The Aam Aadmi Party should be the last party to speak about it, who has ensured that in that 40 crore sheesh mahal, their own Rajya Sabha MP was assaulted and beaten, and the Chief Minister looked the other side, and the Chief Minister is now appointing the same person as the advisor to the Chief Minister of Punjab. So they are an anti-women party. Point number one. I'll tell you what is the issue. The issue is that they are trying to manufacture a sympathy because after Haryana, they've become a deposit zapt party, because not a single women had voted for them, and in Haryana, out of 88 seats where they contested, 87 they've lost deposits, and in Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's own household, he is not even be able to get 1,000 votes, not even 1,000 votes. So they are frustrated. Now let's come to basic facts. Who's the custodian of the property? It's the PWD. Does the PWD come under the central government? No. The PWD comes under the Aam Aadmi Party government. Now let us read the letter further. The Aam Aadmi Party's government's PWD officer says that the keys were taken back after some time, and there has to be a detailed stock of inventory inspection which needs to be done. Now I'll tell you what is the issue with this 40 crore sheesh mahal. Because there is a pending inquiry here. There is a CBC inquiry which is pending, which is, if you remember, an inquiry committee was constituted by the LG which had to take stock whether the entire construction was legal or not. Because during the time of COVID, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal diverted public money in order to create his own sheesh mahal worth 40 crores, where 33 crores was spent only and only on his own personal spend. So that is the issue, because they know that if the investigation will happen of the inventories, the entire corruption files of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal will come out. Please tell us where the BJP is a party to it. Is the BJP, no, I just want to ask him, how is the BJP a party to it? The LG has said through sources that the required bungalow will be allocated to the current Chief Minister. But it is the issue that inventory check has to happen because there is a pending inquiry at the 40 crore sheesh mahal.
But they're alleging that it's the Lieutenant Governor acting at the behest of the Bharatiya Janata Party who is trying to manipulate all of these officers. So a bureaucracy versus Delhi government is what they're trying to
That is
allege.
their traditional charge. That is what they said in Haryana. The people are not able to buy the fact that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is honest, but people are understanding that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is cuttar brush. Please tell us that what will happen if the PWD officials enter that 40 crore sheesh mahal and do an inspection check. Is it for the first time that a bungalow is being allocated from an Aam Aadmi Party from a current functionary to another functionary? It has happened everywhere. The Aam Aadmi Party wants to manufacture a sympathy current for Delhi Chief Minister, ex-Delhi Chief Minister Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, which they are not seeing on the ground. Please tell us where the BJP is a party to it. PWD comes under the Aam Aadmi Party government. The officers come under the Aam Aadmi Party government. If they believe that the officer is taking charge from the LG, they should prove it on the fact.
Okay.
Where is the fact? Which officer is alleged? Please tell us.
All right. What we'll do is we'll quickly take in a word from Arun Bhatia, former bureaucrat, also joining us on the broadcast. Sir, you've not had a chance perhaps to listen to both the gentlemen. They've put out their own set of arguments. You know, you have the BJP saying that this is a PWD letter which states very, very clearly that there was an inspection that was supposed to be carried out, due process had to be followed. And since that's not the case, we've had to ask the Chief Minister to vacate the bungalow. But the Aam Aadmi Party, on the contrary, citing a GAD letter which confirms no due spending from Arvind Kejriwal, and hence they say that due process was indeed followed. Tell us a little bit about the process, the procedure that needs to be followed here, because once again the allegation coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party is it's the Lieutenant Governor acting at the behest of the Bharatiya Janata Party to take on the AAP.
Actually, I don't know much about this case, but I feel that too much importance is being given to a minor procedural matter. Normally, the property or the house is handed back to the department, and they do a check of the installation, the air conditioners, geysers, and stuff like that. So, actually, we shouldn't be wasting too much time talking about this. It's more important to talk about the corruption of the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, what they've done.
Interestingly, Arun Bhatia ji, there is an investigation that's going on as far as those alleged irregularities are concerned around the Chief Minister's bungalow, which is also a reason which has been cited by the PWD officials, because Department of Vigilance, CBI, all of them carrying out their own probe. So that's where it gets a little bit fishy. The BJP says the AAP is trying to hide something.
You know, that's also very far-fetched, because these people have been under the scanner for a long time. And it's unlikely that all the incriminating files are lying on the dining table for somebody to come and have a look at them. They must have disposed of these files, hidden these files, given them to the gardener to go and hide somewhere. It's not waiting there for somebody to come in and have a look. I think it's a storm in a teacup. It doesn't deserve that much attention. And there's nothing concrete that's come out that, yes, those papers were there. There was a safe over there that was broken open. It's nothing like that.
Okay, I want to go across to Mr. Anmol, but before that, Mr. Arun Bhatia, normally these procedures, how much time do they take? Can it be done overnight or within a day or two? Because, you know, when it comes to government bungalows or chief ministers, official residence, it has to take a certain amount of time to be able to get done with the inspections that are to be carried out and then formally handed over to the incumbent CM.
No, I don't think it takes much time, not even half a day.
Okay. Okay, great. That puts things in perspective. Anmol, how would you respond to what the BJP is saying? Are you trying to hide something? What was the hurry? The Chief Minister could have waited, given that BJP is saying the Lieutenant Governor was absolutely okay in handing over this particular bungalow to the new Chief Minister, to Atishi.
Ms. Walia, I think their logic falls flat on their face. They said that the procedure was not followed and the inventory checks were not done. I would like to ask them that the Chief Minister, would the Chief Minister order PWD department, which comes under her, to go and seal her residence, to throw her belongings and to seal the camp office as well? Have you heard it in the history any time? And as far as Mr. Bhatia, and the second point they raised were, in fact, Mr. Bhatia, I must appreciate Mr. Bhatia, he's a very good storyteller. I mean, the way he narrated this fiction just minutes back, they said that there had been corruption and we have heard of this. Ms. Walia, numerous investigation, countless raids and hundreds of cases have been filed against us in the past, yet nothing has come out of it. Every time we have come out clean, and you can continue with your investigation and file as many cases as you want. 100 करो, 200 करो, 500 करो, 1000 करो, 2000 करो. हमें अपनी ईमानदारी पे भरोसा है.
So let's bring it down to basic logic, because you know what's happening, Anmol and Pradeep, what's happening is that it's becoming very confusing for the
I need
people
10
of the
seconds.
national capital and for political parties concerned. It's turning out to be a case of mystery. So let's try and decode this once again, bring it to logic. Are you telling me, Anmol, that the Chief Minister's office, Arvind Kejriwal, had duly handed over the keys to the PWD, and the PWD itself allotted the house to Atishi, following proper procedure and protocol, and itself gave the keys to Atishi, but are now claiming that we did not allot it? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm showing you this letter. If you want me, I can send it to you right now, and you can display it so that your viewers can also see that.
But
how
if the
BJP is
PWD's
playing petty
involvement is
politics.
necessary, if the PWD nod is necessary, how do you think this has happened?
Why didn't it happen during the time when Mr. Sisodia and Mr. Satyendra Jain resigned? At that time also the procedure might have been followed, but did it require 10 days, 15
So this
days,
may have
20
been
days?
a possibility. It may have been possible that Arvind Kejriwal, given that this GAD letter that you're talking about, handed over the keys directly to Atishi. Is that what you're saying? That very much is a possibility?
I have already read out the contents of the letter, which says that the keys were handed over to the PWD officer. Thereafter, PWD officer handed over the keys to Ms. Atishi ji. And it's
Okay.
on record.
Okay, so the
fact
PWD
that-
willingly handed over the keys to Atishi, but are claiming otherwise in the letter. What is your allegation?
The Aam
Pradeep?
Aadmi Party is the biggest liar. They are the Kattar Jhuti party. Please let us look at facts. Let us look.
We
you're saying it is
cannot
confusing, it is
compete with your leader, Mr.
Listen,
Bhandari.
point number 1. अरे भैया हरियाणा में भी आपने बोला था ईमानदारी और भ्रष्टाचार के बीच में हरियाणा की जनता ने बोल दिया
अरे
आप
भैया
भ्रष्टाचारी फैक्ट्स को सुनो
जेल में क्यों बंद किया? अगर इतनी
Now,
हिम्मत थी तो बाहर
you
रहने
were asking me
देते
a
ना,
question.
डरते
Who is
क्यों
the
हो?
custodian of the property?
डरते क्यों हो?
Isn't
इतना
it
हमारे नेता
PWD?
से, एक आम आदमी से
The
इतना डर क्यों
custodian
है
of the
आपको?
property is PWD. This is the PWD letter. And what does the PWD letter say? It said that the keys were taken back after some time and are yet to be handed over to PWD to complete the process of handing over, even after the brief visit at the house today afternoon. This is what it says. It further says that it is therefore necessary on the part of the PWD to undertake an inspection and a detailed stock of inventories inside the house prior to making fresh allotment of the house. So the PWD agrees that it will make a fresh allotment of the house. Why is the Aam Aadmi Party getting so desperate that it cannot leave its 40 crore shishmal even for 24 hours? This was the same
Listen,
party that used to say that we'll live
can
in a
I-
1
can
BHK
I
apartment, we'll
respond?
live in Jhuggi Chopdi, we'll not take a sarkari bungalow, we'll not take a sarkari gaadi, we'll not take VVIP culture. Today, for 24 hours, they can't give the bungalow to TWD for inspection.
They're also alleging that there is
Can I
perhaps a
respond?
conspiracy to
What is the
ensure that
conspiracy?
Atishi doesn't get this
So
bungalow.
by the Aam Aadmi Party company itself, the PWD comes under BJP or does it come under Mr. Arvind Kejriwal? It comes under Mr.
Yeah.
Arvind Kejriwal.
The
He's
fear,
diverted.
the fear is Atishi may not get this bungalow if
That-
the PWD keeps it for a while, which I don't
So
think is a
today,
problem because
the agreement on the panel is that the
Can
Aam
I
Aadmi
respond?
Party is not focused on delivering for the people of Delhi. They are focusing on getting that
Can I
40 crore
respond?
shishmal. That is the focus.
Okay.
The people of Delhi are seeing it.
Anmol, respond.
These BJP people are getting so desperate because they have been out of power since last 27
bhaiya,
years. They are facing political exile, and that is why they want to capture the CM residence. And as far as
No, but that's a valid question. If the PWD wanted
देखिए,
charge of the bungalow for 24 hours,
Mr.
what is the
Bhandari,
harm in that? Anmol ji.
हम जो है सड़कों पे भी काम करने को तैयार हैं।
करो ना
आप
फिर,
हमें
क्यों
आप
चले गए?
हमें घर से
No, if he's
आप
saying
हमें
कि
घर से-
सड़क पे
सुनिए
काम
ना
करने के लिए
बात,
तैयार है तो
सुनिए
करो सड़क
बात।
पे काम।
भाई सुनो
शीश
तो
महल में
पहले,
क्यों बैठना
थोड़ा
चाह रहे हो?
शांत
This is all
हो,
PR
परेशान
stunt
मत
Mr.
हो।
केजरीवाल has done.
परेशान मत हो भाई साहब।
अरे भैया हमें कोई परेशान नहीं होना। 2024 में भी आप सब सीट आ रहे हैं, हरियाणा में भी आपकी सब सीटों में जमानत जब्त हुई। अनमोल जी,
आप हमें
88
भंडारी
सीट
जी
में
सुनो,
87 में
बात-
जमानत जब्त हुई।
बात सुनिए
अनमोल
आप
जी,
पहले,
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी हाउस
आप
रेजिडेंस
3 बार दिल्ली में आपको डेसिमेट कर दिया, 3 बार दिल्ली में डेसिमेट कर दिया, पंजाब में कर दिया।
आप अपने घर में वोट नहीं ला पाए।
44 साल
प्लीज
तक
आंसर
सरकार
मी
नहीं
कि
बना
व्हाई
पाए,
कांट यू
पंजाब में
लीव
आप
द
लोग
40
10 साल
crore
में हमने बना
shishmal
ली।
to PWD which comes
आप
under
हमें
Delhi
जो
government?
Okay,
है,
gentlemen, let's
आप
cut the
हमें
clutter.
घर से
Let's
नहीं
cut this
want
clutter.
to- they want to-
I
से नहीं
want to
निकाल
go back
सकते।
to
Can
Mr.
I
Bhatia
respond?
once again.
I need 10
Anmol, I'm coming
seconds.
back to you. I
Ms.
need to
Bhatia,
bring in the
no, I
gentleman
need
as
10
well.
sec- I
Okay,
need
10
10
seconds and I
seconds.
need to go to him. 10 seconds, not more.
भंडारी साहब, आप हमें घर से निकाल सकते हो, हम सड़कों पे काम करने को
अरे
तैयार
करो
हैं।
ना
आप हमें
सड़क पे
लोगों के
काम, हमें
दिलों
नहीं
से
चाहिए आपका
निकाल
40
सकते।
करोड़ का
Anmol ji,
शीश में।
आप
Anmol ji,
हमें
as a
लोगों
matter
के
of
दिलों
fact,
से नहीं
हमें
निकाल
नहीं चाहिए, हम
सकते।
नहीं आ रहे वहाँ पे।
Atishi has been
आप
chosen as the
27
Chief
साल
Minister.
से
If
जो
she's taken
बनवास
over as
काट
the
रहे
Chief
हो ना,
Minister, she
political
will be
exile।
given a
कितना
government bungalow.
desperation है, हे भगवान।
She will be given a government bungalow. The civil lines bungalow in question or not, she will be given a bungalow. But Arun Bhatia ji, I have a more relevant question to really cut the chase. Even if even if what the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that this is a conspiracy to ensure that this bungalow doesn't come to Atishi, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Because traditionally speaking, the former Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit ji was not living in this bungalow, and this bungalow, if I'm not wrong, can be allotted to any other government functionary, isn't it?
There are two types of bungalows. One is in the general pool, it can be allotted to any official. The other is an assigned bungalow. That means that bungalow will only go to an officer holding that particular position. So in this case, I think it's an assigned house. So it would normally have come to the successor Chief Minister. And I would like to also mention here that it's not a big deal, this so-called inventory checking. In the districts, I've often handed over, as a collector, I've often handed over the keys of the house to my successor over a cup of tea. And the PWD comes much later because nobody's running away with the beds and the fans and the light fixtures. They come and check it out later.
Yes.
Okay, so let the people of National Capital not feel...
10-second point, please.
One thing more, madam.
Yes, sir. We're running out of time quickly.
Just one short thing. This question about the house has nothing to do with the innocence of the Aam Aadmi Party. We are all disappointed, disillusioned with this party of honest men fighting for the Lokpal, and a whole bunch of them.
Okay, point noted. Point noted, Mr. Bhatia. 5 seconds, I need to wrap
My
up.
simple question is that the Aam Aadmi Party, which claimed of zero VVIP culture, why is it fixated on that 40 crore sheet? It is not going to any BJP leader. It will go to Mr Atishi. My question is, what will happen if PWD does an inspection check for 24 hours?
The political fight can continue.
I'm asking a basic question.
The political fight can
What is
continue.
the
The
process?
people of the national capital must not be fooled. That's my only point here. Well, let's see how it plays out and whether or not the Aam Aadmi Party is able to prove the allegations against the Lieutenant Governor in this case. We are into a very short break. With that, on the other side, a very important debate lined up. Keep watching.
Lights!
Iconic industrialist and one of the most respected businessmen of India, Ratan Tata was born to Parsi parents Naval and Sunu Tata in Bombay in 1937. Ratan was raised by an indulgent yet disciplinarian grandmother Nawajbai along with younger brother Jimmy after their parents were separated. Life was luxurious for the young Tatas, but their grandmother instilled a strong set of values in them. Young Ratan played a lot of cricket, learned the piano while leading a protected life. Ratan Tata studied in Bombay's famous schools Campion and Cathedral and John Cannon. He would say later that he was shy, fearful of public speaking and not into too many extracurricular activities. After school, Ratan Tata set sail to the United States to study architecture and structural engineering at Cornell University. The years he spent in the US from 1955 to 1962 had a tremendous influence on him. He traveled the country and was ready to settle down in Los Angeles. But his love affair with America broke as Lady Nawajbai's health deteriorated and he was forced to return to a life he thought he had left behind. In India, he had a job offer from IBM, but JRD Tata wouldn't allow him to join there and asked for his resume. That's how Ratan Tata joined Tata Industries in 1962 as an assistant and spent 6 months at Telco and Tisco plants in Jamshedpur. In 1965, he was appointed technical officer in Tisco's engineering division, and in 1969, he worked as the Tata Group's resident representative in Australia. In 1965, he was appointed technical officer in Tisco's engineering division, and in 1969, he worked as the Tata Group's resident representative in Australia. He returned to India in 1970 to join Tata Consultancy Services for a short stint. His first big job was with Nelco, where he was made director in charge in 1971. In 1974, he joined the board of Tata Sons as a director and rose to become chairman of Tata Industries in 1981. In 1991, as the Indian economy was on the threshold of liberalization, Ratan Tata took over from JRD Tata as chairman of Tata Sons to run the group founded by his great-grandfather more than 100 years ago. He soon started restructuring the Tata Group. The group not only achieved spectacular growth, but it was under his leadership that the Tata Group saw a series of high-profile acquisitions like Tetley, Chorus and Jaguar Land Rover. The billionaire's empire extended from salt to the world's second largest tea business to giants in steel, software and hotels. A car enthusiast himself, in 2008, Ratan Tata launched the Tata Nano, his dream project of small but super cheap cars for millions of Indians. It came to be known as the people's car due to its affordable pricing. The project hit a roadblock in Singur and had to shift to Gujarat. In December 2012, he stepped down as chairman of Tata Sons after 50 years with the Tata Group and was appointed chairman emeritus of Tata Sons. A big backer of education and healthcare, Ratan Tata generously funded many philanthropic projects, prominent research institutes and cancer hospitals. After his retirement, not one to sit still, he quietly helped young and bright minds by investing millions in their startups. Ratan Tata's unconditional love for dogs is well known, and he built a pet hospital in Mumbai. He is once said to have missed an invitation from Prince Charles because one of his pet dogs was ill. Even stray dogs were reportedly given free entry at the iconic Taj Mahal Hotel. Ratan Tata was awarded the Padma Vibhushan in 2008. Gentleman to a fault, with his passing, India has lost one of its shining jewels that glittered for many decades and enriched millions of lives. It's truly the end of an era. Iconic industrialist and one of the most respected businessmen of India, Ratan Tata was born to Parsi parents Naval and Sunu Tata in Bombay in 1937. Ratan was raised by an indulgent yet disciplinarian grandmother Nawajbai along with younger brother Jimmy after their parents were separated. Life was luxurious for the young Tatas, but their grandmother instilled a strong set of values in them. Young Ratan played a lot of cricket, learned the piano while leading a protected life. Ratan Tata studied in Bombay's famous schools Campion and Cathedral and John Cannon. He would say later that he was shy, fearful of public speaking and not into too many extracurricular activities. After school, Ratan Tata set sail to the United States to study architecture and structural engineering at Cornell University. The years he spent in the US from 1955 to 1962 had a tremendous influence on him. He traveled the country and was ready to settle down in Los Angeles. But his love affair with America broke as Lady Nawajbai's health deteriorated and he was forced to return to a life he thought he had left behind. In India, he had a job offer from IBM, but J.R.D. Tata wouldn't allow him to join them.
Good evening and welcome back. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to another serious pattern emerging out of Karnataka. The last 3 weeks alone has seen the arrest of at least 18 Pakistan nationals illegally staying in India while in possession of fake ID cards. Now, questions are being asked on how these many Pak nationals were allowed into our borders via legal means. The Congress in Karnataka has called it a failure of the centre to secure borders. But the BJP has instead attempted to remind the Congress government of its own duties in its own territory. What's interesting to note here is that those arrested are believed to be linked to the Mehdi Foundation International, a UK-based organisation that promotes Goerian philosophy of divine love. The MFI chief claims that these are MFI members in Pakistan who've been falsely accused of blasphemy in the country and in some cases killed as well. Whatever may be the reason behind their influx to India, they have been staying in our country illegally. So this is how the Congress and the BJP are dodging the bullet. Listen in first up.
Priyank Karge upper chamber is empty. He don't know what to talk and when to talk and whom to talk. That is his problem. So that is the one thing. And he poke his nose in all the departments. If anybody came from outside the country, but if they are illegally came or whatever, it is the lookout of the governments. Wherever the Karnataka means state government. But here, what way he has to do with the Pakistanis?
How do they get inside the country? Isn't it a failure of the intelligence? Isn't it failure of the central government? Why are you pinning the blame on state government? If somebody from Pakistan has to come to Bangalore, are they parachuted? Is the airspace not monitored? Where is the NIA? Tell me one recommendation the National Intelligence Agency has given to the state government of Karnataka with respect to these illegal immigrants. Show me one. Or any infiltration that they have given an alert. Oh, there has been an infiltration. 100 infiltrations in the last 1 year. Please be careful. करके एक directive तो है. कहीं है, कहाँ है, दिखाई है. So why are they blaming their incompetencies on us? How do they come to Bangalore? I would put the question back to the central government. What are you doing? Why are our borders not secure?
All right, Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP, continues to stay on with us. We're also being joined by Bhavya Narasimhamurthy, spokesperson of the Congress Party. Good evening, Bhavya.
Good evening.
We also have ND Mulla. Mr. ND Mulla, former DCP Crime, Karnataka Police, completes the panel. Good evening to you, sir, as well. My first question is to Pradeep Bhandari, since these questions are being aimed at the central government, at our forces. You know, they're talking about borders remaining porous, how enough is not being done. How is it that Pakistani nationals, Bangladeshi nationals are crossing over into our territory?
Well, the fencing on the border is increasing with every passing day, and if you will see various borders, it is more fenced than what it was at the time of UPA. Now, Mr. Kharge in that bite asked, when did Centre ask or give an intimation to the Karnataka government? On 2nd of February, the Centre had asked Karnataka police to keep vigil against illegal immigrants. This is the Mr. Rajnath Singh here saying. So it's not that Centre has in the past not indicated to various state governments that this can be a possibility. But look at the approach of the Karnataka government, and I'll give you an instance. When the Rameshwar cafe blast case happened, what was Karnataka Home Minister saying? That it's a normal blast, it's not a high intensity blast. And then the NIA had to step in and there was a terror angle. The Karnataka Congress government was denying a terror angle. The Karnataka Congress government was also denying PFI as a terror outfit. They were asking to withdraw cases against PFI back.
You're right there, but to be fair to them, the police is cracking down on such cases now.
It has started.
The Home Minister says that more arrests are likely.
Because they are under pressure. But our charges, because of vote bank compulsions, the Congress party is aiding and ensuring that more and more illegal immigrants are come inside Karnataka. Tomorrow they will issue fake voter ID cards to them and increase their vote banks. We've seen that in the past because Congress party has never taken a stand openly against Pakistan. In the past, when the Congress party was in power, Congress party even called 2611 as RSS ki sajish. So please tell us, in fact, if you remember that even when the Congress party had won, there were slogans of Pakistan Zindabad which were raised, on which an FIR was filed.
Okay,
so I question their intent.
Bhavya wants to respond to you. Bhavya.
Pradeep, have some shame before saying any of these things that we are encouraging people from Pakistan to come here for our vote base. What kind of an assumption or absurd statement is that? How dare you make some statement like that on air, on a national channel?
What dare? You've done it. You've done it. Illegal immigration. You've done it. Do you support NRC letter and spirit, Bhavya? Bhavya, do you support NRC letter and spirit? Bhavya, do you support NRC letter and spirit? Bhavya, do you support NRC letter and spirit?
Speak about us like that.
Okay, Bhavya, you tell me. Okay, if my charge is wrong, do you support NRC letter and spirit?
Wait, listen to me.
You tell me, no, you can't allege me that I said something wrong on national television. You tell me, do you support NRC letter and spirit?
Let's take it one by one. Let's take it one by one.
Have some shame before making statements
like that. Do not increase your vote bank to an extent that you compromise national security. Forget the Batla House when you were backing the terrorists and Sonia Gandhi was shedding tears for Batla House terrorists.
How dare you say Congress is...
Obviously, Congress is Pakistan appeal. Article 370 Article 370 is spoken by Pakistan and you.
Let's get down to a solution here. Let's understand why this is happening and then raise all of these questions. Bhavya, make a pointed response first.
He has no rights to make statements like that.
No, once again.
I have a right.
As far as statements about DK Shiv Kumar, etc. are concerned with regards to certain terror attacks, those statements, Bhavya, we can't deny it. They're out in the open. Those statements have been made.
Okay, let me tell you. So the borders are under state control. Issuing visas are under state control. Ministry of Defense or all these ministries which deal with the migrants, immigrants, all of this is under state control.
Only the police is under state control and the police is acting in this case. Pradeep, that's why I was asking you what I was asking you. Forget terror sympathizers, forget everything else, forget what has been said by who in the past, but How is it that these people have been allowed in India before Karnataka?
Okay, so do you and me agree? Okay, wait a second. You and me agree that illegal immigration is a problem? Illegal infiltration is a problem? Do you support NRC? Do you support NRC? You answer my question. You agree that illegal immigration is a problem? Do you support NRC?
You want that
Absolutely, yes. You not support it. The crux of the matter is that
exactly the point.
yes, you will increase your vote bank. And am I saying wrong on terror? What did Sonia Gandhi do during the time of Batla House? That fake anger will not work. That fake anger will not work.
How about we take it one by one? Bhavya, I'm coming back to you. I've taken your response. Hold on. Let me ask Pradeep the first question and then I'm coming back to you because I do want an answer on what he's saying. The Congress's position on NRC. Why block NRC? Because NRC is directly related to curbing the whole illegal migrant menace. But before that, Pradeep, she's asking you a pointed question about how are these people being allowed into India before Karnataka.
They were on tourist visa, as I gather. That's why they've been caught. So please answer my question. They've been caught. It has illegal immigration. I'll tell you another MHA report. Here is another MHA report. This is another MHA report which says that the illegal immigration has gone down by 50%. Now please answer my question. Does she support NRC letter and spirit?
Okay, all right.
Ask her.
I have a counter question to Pradeep, but before that, NRC. What is Congress's stated position on NRC? Why not back NRC? Be open about NRC if you're actually very serious about this issue, Bhavya. I need to go across to ND Mullah as well. Quickly complete
when it comes to NRC, Indian citizens, where you want to test their citizenship, who are inside India for like generations together and they want to render them as nationless. That is the whole crux of NRC, which we are against.
Pakistani nationals also being rendered nationless in no time overnight when they're being arrested?
In no time overnight, no one is rendered nationless. These people, if they have come under tourist visa, it is the responsibility of central government to send them back. NRC has nothing to do with these people.
Besides, how are they being able to pull this off for so long, Pradeep?
Yeah.
ND Mullaji, I want to bring you in. I want to bring you in. We'll go back to the political fight, but Mr. ND Mullah, there's something seriously wrong here. These people have been able to fake their identities for 10 years and in some cases more than that. So they're living with a fake Aadhaar card and some say that they were in the running for acquiring fake passports as well, Indian passports. Now that's very worrying. Mr. Mullah.
Yeah. I would like to first and foremost tell you that illegal immigration and infiltration is an international phenomenon, not just confined to India alone. This is happening even in USA. This is nothing like intelligence failure. A city of 140 lakh population can, a few people will submerge. Ultimately, they will be detected. And it is nothing to do with the party, whether it is Congress or Janata Dal or whatever party or BJP or anything. This is a racket. People escape from the tyranny or whatever the law. They come here legally, illegally, and ultimately they are detected and deported. That is a common phenomenon. I don't think we should blame the parties for that. Secondly, we cannot blame the intelligence also. Ultimately, it is intelligence which has caught them. See, similarly, about 2 years back, a couple migrated from Pakistan because they were in Dubai. They fell in love with an Indian girl. They went to Dubai.
Mr. Mullah, my concern is something else here. You know, amidst this blame game that we keep seeing with the central government saying that there are some opposition rule states that are allowing Bangladeshi infiltrators into India. They've cited examples like Jharkhand, West Bengal, attempt to change demography, so on and so forth. The other counter-allegation is coming in from the opposition parties, the Congress in this case, that's saying not enough is being done to secure our borders. In the midst of this blame game, we're looking at a very serious problem. So what's the solution here? What can be done really? We're seeing the Karnataka police swing into action, crack down on all of these people carrying out these activities, staying as residents of Karnataka for the longest time, 10 years and counting. But something needs to be done to really get rid of this problem, isn't it?
Yeah, ultimately police and intelligence work on the information that we have. Sooner or later they will be caught. Some people are caught immediately. There are so many Bangladeshis now immigrated to India illegally, in Bangalore particularly, and they will be caught and deported. I mean, I don't find that any particular agency is responsible or any particular party is responsible for this.
Okay.
This is ongoing, whether it is some party is in power or not. This is an ongoing thing, and police at the same time are very alert, and because of that alertness only, ultimately they are caught.
Okay, Pradeep wants
My
to come
charge
in.
is that all these illegal individuals get political patronage, and I'll prove this. August 9, 2024, a man is arrested in Bengaluru for fake ID card and had claimed to be
politics into this.
Mr. Mullah, I'm not talking. Mr. Mullah,
Mexico every day. So, I mean, Canada. For that matter, US and Canada,
I want to.
lakhs of
Mr.
people.
Mullah, let him complete his point. I'm coming back to you and Bhavya both.
My charge is there is political protection for vote bank concerns, and I will prove it. Bhavya has not read on this, and I'll educate her on this. August.
But it cannot be charged like that, man.
Mr. Mullah, I am talking to the Congress spokesperson. Can I speak?
He's saying I have proof. I have proof to substantiate these
Why,
claims.
Mr. Mullah,
Let
and
him complete.
Congress
Bhavya,
working in
I'm coming
tandem?
back to you. Let's
No,
take
no,
it
no.
one by
I
one.
thought the question is to me.
No,
From
it's
my
not for you.
angle, I'm telling you that why blame any party for that matter?
Okay. That's very wise of you, Mr. Mullah. Let him make his point.
My charge, and I'll prove this, is that Congress party gives political patronage for vote bank compulsions. Number one, Bhavya has not backed the NRC. It is on record. That is why the illegal immigration, the root causes, they want to increase their vote bank. On August 9, 2024, and let me read the Hindustan Time report. Man in Bengaluru arrested for creating fake ID card and claiming to be the secretary of Karnataka CM Siddaramaiah.
One second. I think there's an audio trouble there. I request my team to just recheck on that. But yes, Pradeep, go ahead, make your point.
On August 9, 2024, this is what Hindustan Times reports. The man in Bengaluru caught and arrested for fake ID claimed to be the secretary of Karnataka Chief Minister Mr Siddaramaiah. All these individuals know that if they are belonging to one particular community, they will get political patronage from the Congress party. Today, Congress spokesperson Shama Mohammed tweeted, let us admit it, only one community voted for us, that is the Muslim community, and we should do anything and everything for them. So will they protect the illegal immigrants? This is what it is. And why is it only happening in Bengaluru? August 2024, September 2024, now October 2024.
No, because
Is he blaming one
as a
full
matter
community?
of fact,
Pradeep,
these are Mehdi Foundation International members, Bhavya. So they have come from Pakistan. And the police has confirmed the same.
Is he a Pakistani national that you just spoke about?
The early
Could he have an ID? Was he a Pakistani national?
He was supporting individuals who were coming from Pakistan to run a fake racket. Here also the individual Parvez, who was not a Pakistani national, but he was getting Pakistani nationals inside your state and get them fake IDs.
You just read, Pradeep.
Bhavya, no. Bhavya, don't support illegal immigrants. I request you.
The one with fake
Bhavya,
ID.
don't request.
Is
Do you
he a
support NRC,
Pakistani
Bhavya?
national?
Bhavya, I will agree to you if you support NRC.
Pradeep.
Bhavya, no.
To be a psychopath to your leader.
Bhavya, enough. Enough of vote bank compulsions. On August 9, 2024, the man who was carrying out this illegal immigrant racket.
You've made your point. You've raised several questions. Bhavya, take them up one by one and respond to Pradeep. Why are there apprehensions in the Congress party in clearing its position as far as issues of CAA, NRC are concerned? Just come out and clear your position, back it, stand against it.
You know what?
You have the answer then.
He can't make baseless statements on national.
Pointed response.
Bhavya,
pointed
you can't
response.
let him get away with it.
Which is the baseless statement, Bhavya?
He spoke. Wait, Pradeep. I waited.
Yeah, tell me.
I had complete patience in listening to you.
No, you
Have
prove
some
me where I'm
dignity
wrong.
and listen to me. Let me ask you the question. You spoke about a person in Bangalore who didn't have an identity card. Is he a Pakistani national? Was it proved?
Okay, I can
Yes
answer
or
now.
no?
Now,
Yes
Bhavya,
or no?
you not understood it. The person who was carrying out the illegal racket claimed to be the secretary of your chief minister. Have you not read it? I'll share with you. Why do they claim to be Congress workers? And I'll tell you why. Mrs. Gandhi had amended the Foreigners Act to prevent deportation of illegal Bangladeshi immigrants when you were in power.
Okay, Bhavya.
Getting his messages
No,
from
you-
WhatsApp.
you're trying to
WhatsApp. This is another
One
proof.
second. Let's not waste time in this, Bhavya. Let's not
This is
waste.
not on WhatsApp. This is a
Let's
Hindustan
not
Times.
waste time. Let's not waste
Hindustan
time.
Times.
You're citing an earlier report. You're talking about a different case. Let's get down to business. Let's really try and address the NRC issue. He's asked you a pointed question on NRC. Bhavya, respond to that. Let's really not get to the earlier reports.
Does Yogi Adityanath involve in this then? The kingpin of current Pakistani nationals belong to Uttar Pradesh.
Oh, she's saying Parvez was arrested in Uttar
Yeah,
Pradesh. So how do you respond to that?
We agree that illegal immigration is an issue, and Jharkhand High Court has also admitted in one of its order that in Santhal Pargana.
Now you may raise those questions with Bhavya, but it is incumbent on the central government to ensure that these things don't continue.
We want to get NRC letter in principle, but they will politicize it for vote bank compulsion. I agree illegal immigration is an issue. Jharkhand High Court has also admitted that the entire demography of Santhal has changed because of illegal immigration.
Okay, all right.
Does she support
Last
NRC?
word to Mr. N.D.
Can she
Mulla,
support
then
NRC?
I need to quickly head into a short break. Mr. N.D. Mulla, Pradeep's suggestion is NRC is the way forward. Yes, we need to secure our borders, and yes, there are a lot of things that need to be done, but then there are tools like the NRC that are going to help support it. They're going to initiate a change for the good. These problems will be tackled only when there is a wider implementation of these ideas. Do you agree, disagree?
I don't agree with this. NRC cannot be a solution for all these things. Immigration is there everywhere in every corner of the world. You know, affluent countries like USA and Canada could not prevent this kind of immigration and illegal immigration. So what of this thing? This will go on. This is like cat and mouse playing with each other. NRC is not the solution, and for that it's a political issue altogether. I will not answer that, nor I will have an opinion on that.
There are countries that are bordering other countries, and everybody is facing these kind of challenges. Doesn't mean everybody needs to be there.
That is the same argument. You're saying that you can never have a crime-free state. That doesn't mean that you will not get laws to ensure that crime does not come down. What is Mr. Mullah saying? Sorry, I disagree with him logically.
Okay, you disagree with Mr.
I want to
Mullah?
ask Mr. Mullah. Let us say that utopian concept is a crime-free state. No, nobody in no world is crime-free. Does it mean that the state will not get laws to improve, reduce the crime rate?
You are free to disagree with Mr. Mullah.
Logically,
the central government has a vision in place when it comes to NRC, and it's free to do so. Mr. Mullah, I want the last comment from Bhavya. I need to quickly head into a short break. Bhavya, your last 30 seconds.
Really want to bring in NRC. They're standing on two governments, two state parties. You think they'll agree? He's just using NRC to save their face from showing off, so that their failures of their ministries, their intelligence, NIA, cannot be come to the fore. They're just using
let's
NRC.
not forget that the police so far has not revealed the pattern here. The police have not confirmed whether these were Pakistani nationals who've crossed into our border, or they've flown from some other country, or these are in fact Bangladeshi nationals. They first went to Bangladesh. None of those details have been divulged as yet. But yes, this is a worrying pattern, and a solution must be looked at. We need to look at a solution-oriented approach. Gentlemen and Bhavya, many thanks for joining us this evening. That's all the time we have. Heading to a very short break. Coming up next, India, remember, has been mourning the loss of an icon, Mr. Ratan Tata. Joining me next after a short break is Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, co-founder and MD of Hiranandani Group, and he has a very personal equation with Mr. Ratan Tata that he will be bringing out here for our viewers. We'll be right back.
Lights! Iconic industrialist and one of the most respected businessmen of India, Ratan Tata was born to Parsi parents Naval and Sunu Tata in Bombay in 1937. Ratan was raised by an indulgent yet disciplinarian grandmother Nawajbai along with younger brother Jimmy after their parents were separated. Life was luxurious for the young Tatas, but their grandmother instilled a strong set of values in them. Young Ratan played a lot of cricket, learned the piano while leading a protected life. Ratan Tata studied in Bombay's famous schools Campion and Cathedral and John Cannon. He would say later that he was shy, fearful of public speaking and not into too many extracurricular activities. After school, Ratan Tata set sail to the United States to study architecture and structural engineering at Cornell University. The years he spent in the US from 1955 to 1962 had a tremendous influence on him. He traveled the country and was ready to settle down in Los Angeles. But his love affair with America broke as Lady Nawajbai's health deteriorated and he was forced to return to a life he thought he had left behind. In India, he had a job offer from IBM, but JRD Tata wouldn't allow him to join there and asked for his resume. That's how Ratan Tata joined Tata Industries in 1962 as an assistant and spent 6 months at Telco and Tisco plants in Jamshedpur. In 1965, he was appointed technical officer in Tisco's engineering division, and in 1969, he worked as the Tata Group's resident representative in Australia. In 1965, he was appointed technical officer in Tisco's engineering division, and in 1969, he worked as the Tata Group's resident representative in Australia. He returned to India in 1970 to join Tata Consultancy Services for a short stint. His first big job was with Nelco, where he was made director in charge in 1971. In 1974, he joined the board of Tata Sons as a director and rose to become chairman of Tata Industries in 1981. In 1991, as the Indian economy was on the threshold of liberalization, Ratan Tata took over from JRD Tata as chairman of Tata Sons to run the group founded by his great-grandfather more than 100 years ago. He soon started restructuring the Tata Group. The group not only achieved spectacular growth, but it was under his leadership that the Tata Group saw a series of high-profile acquisitions like Tetley, Chorus and Jaguar Land Rover. The billionaire's empire extended from salt to the world's second-largest tea business to giants in steel, software and hotels. A car enthusiast himself, in 2008, Ratan Tata launched the Tata Nano, his dream project of small but super cheap cars for millions of Indians. It came to be known as the people's car due to its affordable pricing. The project hit a roadblock in Singur and had to shift to Gujarat. In December 2012, he stepped down as chairman of Tata Sons after 50 years with the Tata Group and was appointed chairman emeritus of Tata Sons. A big backer of education and healthcare, Ratan Tata generously funded many philanthropic projects, prominent research institutes and cancer hospitals. After his retirement, not one to sit still, he quietly helped young and bright minds by investing millions in their startups. Ratan Tata's unconditional love for dogs is well known, and he built a pet hospital in Mumbai. He is once said to have missed an invitation from Prince Charles because one of his pet dogs was ill. Even stray dogs were reportedly given free entry at the iconic Taj Mahal Hotel. Ratan Tata was awarded the Padma Vibhushan in 2008. Gentleman to a fault, with his passing, India has lost one of its shining jewels that glittered for many decades and enriched millions of lives. It's truly the end of an era. Iconic industrialist and one of the most respected businessmen of India, Ratan Tata was born to Parsi parents Naval and Sunu Tata in Bombay in 1937. Ratan was raised by an indulgent yet disciplinarian grandmother Nawajbai along with younger brother Jimmy after their parents were separated. Life was luxurious for the young Tatas, but their grandmother instilled a strong set of values in them. Young Ratan played a lot of cricket, learned the piano while leading a protected life. Ratan Tata studied in Bombay's famous schools Campion and Cathedral and John Cannon. He would say later that he was shy, fearful of public speaking and not into too many extracurricular activities. After school, Ratan Tata set sail to the United States to study architecture and structural engineering at Cornell University. The years he spent in the US from 1955 to 1962 had a tremendous
Welcome back. Well, India lost one of its biggest icons, an industry legend, last night. Ratan Tata, chairman emeritus of Tata Sons, who led a modest, unassuming life, was laid to rest with state honours in Mumbai in the presence of all his loved ones and every individual whose life was touched by a gentle soul like him. I want to quickly go across to Niranjan Hiranandani, co-founder and MD Hiranandani Group, joining us this evening for a very special chat, a very special interaction in remembrance of Mr. Ratan Tata. Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, many thanks for joining us here on CNN News 18. Mr. Ratan Tata was a dear friend to you. You also invested in one of his projects, so you've been business partners, if I may say. We know the greatness of Mr. Ratan Tata. We've been speaking about it all day long, as a mentor, a leader, a great human being. But you must share some anecdotes with us about, his stories, his life so far, a special memory, a fond memory that you shared with him.
A unique human being. Everything which he did in greatness in terms of industry, of course, was superpower excellence. But I think his self and his persona is something very different. Humility was across the board. He's never found that the power, the position, the wealth that he and his group had never touched him at all. But so many things about his humanity came out so differently. 2018, a story I can relate. He was invited by Prince Philip to be awarded in Buckingham Palace an award for all the charity and industry that he has been doing. At the last moment, he cancelled the trip. Everybody was very worried. Mr. Ratan Tata, is he unwell to cancel such an important invitation by Prince Philip in Buckingham Palace? The truth came out when it was known that Mr. Ratan Tata could not leave India because his pet dog was unwell and he couldn't bear to leave his dog, who was not keeping well, to go for an award to Buckingham Palace. We don't care for people. Forget caring for a dog. People don't care for siblings, they don't care for their parents, they don't care for anybody. But here, a great man, his humanity is something you can be admirable for. This is something which is unique, I found in a person like him, and tremendous number of other stories. Even as late as August of this year, last month, 2 months, 3 months ago, I got an invitation from him for joining Tata Parkinson Foundation. My father had Parkinson, he knew about it. He had Parkinson. And he decided that even though he was unwell, even though he has been not keeping too good, he decided to set up this foundation trust in order to do something for people afflicted by Parkinson. And he requested me to join. So we have set up a new trust of which he was a chair. Even at 86, even at this point of time in life, he decided to do for people. He wanted to give back and give back. You know about his cancer work, you know about his other charities, and the Tata Trust doing almost 60% of the wealth income is spent on charities in India. But have you ever seen a single time that he would show off about it? Never. Not a single time would he voice the great work that he was doing. He took it in a stride. He took it off his shoulders of a cuff, which had great meaning to him. So really a different aspect about an industrialist, a leader. And when you hear about the other side of this man, you think he's a Mahatma. So, I mean...
and even more so because, Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, if you think about the larger picture, wealth often distances the powerful from the common people, from the poor. But that was not the case with him. He was so very grounded, and the manner in which people today poured out their love for him on the streets of Mumbai is testament to that fact.
Absolutely. And I think he was well deserving. I mean, he came home for dinner, and I remember 6 months later, he'd say, please tell Mrs. Kamal that, the food that I had in your house, I enjoyed it so much. I mean, he would have that little things to say, which would touch the hearts of people. And the fact that he would remember those things, those little things were also remembered by this great man who was running industry, business, charity, this all across the world, taking over Air India on one side, back into the fold, and acquiring companies in London, in England, the automobile, the Chorus Group in Europe, and at the same time being humble.
And since you've known him personally,
I have never seen anybody so big and great and yet so humble and down to earth.
What was the mantra there though, Mr. Niranjan? Because, having seen so many ups and downs as a businessman, as a human being, one tends to come across several setbacks in life, and that was the case with him as well. What was it in him that he was able to bounce back in no time and with such grace? Because you've known him personally, is why I'm asking.
Well, to be honest, I think there was an innate honesty about him that he believed to live the way he thought he should live. We all think of an ideal, but we can't live it. He thought of an ideal and actually lived it. This is something very beautiful. We are aspirational in many thoughts, like we want to be moneyed people. So, but we will not be wanting to be moneyed and humble. You want to be moneyed and a show off. He didn't bother, and he was giving, and he didn't want to praise for that purpose. So he would never say, I mean, he would take all the charity which is done by Tata Trust for granted. It looked as if, you know, it's part of his life. So what? What is so big about it?
He set the right example in so many ways, Mr. Niranjan. Appreciate you taking out your time and sharing these very special stories with us. Thank you for speaking to us. With that, we come to the end of this edition of The Right Stand. Thanks for watching, viewers. Over to Zaka Jacob for the brass tacks.
Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. Last night, India lost one of its biggest icons, an industry legend. Ratan Tata, the chairman emeritus of Tata Sons, who led a modest, unassuming life, was laid to rest with state honours in Mumbai today. It was in the presence of not just his loved ones, but millions of people in the city that he grew up in the city that he loved, in the city